And game number 3. The countdown has started. Mong against Yangchigisonyun, aka tOKi. And in fact, it looks like, yep, my keyboard is working. Just took a little while for it to respond. Gonna hide those interface parts. Alright, Mong is back on the Protoss. Alright, that's an interesting development. And tOKi is once again on the Terran. For the first 2 games, tOKi won the first one by just surviving every single drop attempt that Mong made on him, without taking any damage at all, aside from losing a couple of turrets and depots, but nothing substantial. And getting himself the higher ground on Mong and coming away with the win. In the second game, the tables flipped around as Mong got off a beautiful fire bat drop on tOKi's minerals. tOKi lost, I think, about half of his workers to the fire bats and was just put back to such an insane degree that he couldn't keep up with Mong. His drop right after the fire bat drop didn't deal any damage to Mong. Then there was a third drop, but yeah, the third drop happened right. Actually, he forgot his storm upgrade. That was before a reef drop. But anyway, he forgot the storm upgrade. Had the opportunity to kill all of Mong's SCVs, but had no storm. And I think that was the catalyst to the horrendous sequence of actions that led to tOKi's very quick defeat. Mong just decided to push out and go for the offense. And this led to game number 3, where they swap roles. Score is 1-1 in this presumably best of 5 series. Mong starts off with a very early choke, but tOKi already has a Marine out and already finds Mong's choke and starts hammering away at those cannons with that single Marine. Another Marine and an SCV are also coming in to help that Marine take down the choke. But Mong pulls off some probes, trying to deal some damage on those Marines, keep those Marines distracted so these cannons can come up. Cannon finishes, second cannon also finishes. Now tOKi moves in deeper. He's gonna target those probes directly. 4 probes get pulled off. tOKi runs away. Now the probes get pulled back to the minerals. Now a Marine comes in from the other side, trying to hammer down on those probes, but those probes catch the Marine before it deals any damage, but probes being pulled off the minerals means that they are not mining. Well, all of that is a complete win for tOKi. It builds himself a little bit of an advantage over Mong. Even though Mong has more probes, tOKi managed to make Mong stop mining minerals with a couple of probes, and whereas he has been able to just mine with all of his SCVs uninterrupted. A probe now comes into his base. 2 Marines have been finished there. They intercept the probe, but the probe makes it in. Now they're chasing the probe. Probe is just getting himself information, giving Mong a beautiful tour around tOKi's base. Finds the CC, so now Mong knows that there's 2 command centers up, which should give him the chance to go a little bit aggressive, because he sees that there's only 5 Marines there. I assume he also saw that no Marines were being produced. But these 2 zealots, they can quite nicely fight against those Marines. Marines are also split up, which is even better for tOKi, for Mong, because Mong decides against it, doesn't go in. Marines group up with each other. They found the probe. Probe goes down. tOKi sees the single zealot there in the top. He attacks the zealot, then pulls back. Zealot is still there. He's just using the zealots to get information on tOKi's progression on his build. The engineering bay is being built now. There's a factory right there. The academy is finished, but no stim upgrade is on the way. No medics are being constructed either. More Marines now being queued up. The zealot here is trying to stop this SCV from making the factory. And the SCV will probably go down. If SCV gets saved and replaced by another SCV, Zealot is on very low HP, running away from the Marines, and eventually will go down. And there's already another Zealot on the top side. Oh, that's the same Zealot from before. It didn't go down That's even more information that Mong can get himself by very neatly controlling those zealots all around of tOKi's base. The zealot does go down eventually, but it took about a minute of walking around and hunting for zealots to take those 2 zealots down. While all that was happening, Mong has finished up 2 robotics facilities and a support bay, even has Citadel of Adun and a Templar's Archive. He stopped making zealots at all, which might actually be a very, very good situation for tOKi, because tOKi now has 3 medics. He scanned the choke, and he can go stim in and kill those cannons. Medics blocking his own marines. Now the marines are able to fire on those cannons. 2 cannons go down. Right, 2 cannons have gone down. 3rd cannon almost made it, but gets cancelled. Mong is now in a very tight position, but there are 2 Dark Templars queued up. Probe goes down. He's going for the cannon. No, he's going for the probes themselves. Alright, he's going for the cannons. Probes get pulled off the minerals. Probes now helping take down the marines. Marines also being focused down by the Dark Templars. And 2 Reavers have been filled up into that shuttle. And actually, tOKi, because he went for the offensive move, does not have any units that can fight these Reavers. He's got a tank there, but siege mode is not yet finished. We'll finish up in about 5 seconds. So these 2 Reavers get free fire on these depots, and killing those depots is definitely a very good call and move for Mong, because now it means that tOKi is in a bad position for his supply. Marines coming in, he picks up the Reavers. Micro's back. Reaver does not get a shut off. Reaver gets shut off on a single Marine. He picks up the Reaver and lifts it up back over the hill. But meanwhile, at the front, 2 Dark Templars are hammering away at the depots. tOKi was constructing to build a wall to keep Mong out. There's no turret there in the front. tOKi is now supply stock, as he got a 54 cap, but he's got 57 in total. Right now, a depot is finished here in the top side, but there's no detection here in the top side, so he will not be able to take the Dark Templar down. Dark Templar now hammering away at this depot here, and the Reaver has gone back in. Single SCV goes down, 2 more SCVs go down. Dark Templars get spotted out by the turret. Marines take down the Dark Templars. Reaver is still uncontested. Tank takes down the Reaver. SCVs get put back on the minerals. There's still a Dark Templar there in the front. A depot went down here in the top. Wait, where is... Oh, there's there was a Dark Templar on the SCVs, killing SCVs. It was just outside of the range of this turret, so a scan has to be used. Scan gets used. Dark Templar goes down. 2 Dark Templars have been dropped inside his base once again, hammering away at the depots. This one is trying to hammer on this single tank there, but it's within the range of the turret, so there is detection. Dark Templar goes down. More units are being loaded up. There's a Reaver that's being escorted out by a shuttle and a Corsair flying the other direction. Gonna flank, keep tOKi on his toes, force him to spread his units to all directions in his base. He's got no wall in his front, so the Dark Templars will still be able to keep streaming into his base on the top side here. He's gonna drop that Reaver there on the low ground, maybe fly in even deeper, and then it will, under the assistance of this Dark Templar, be able to take down these depots. And the Reaver gets dropped, takes down 2 SCVs. He's gonna hammer. He puts a stop to the armory, puts a stop to the depot. He's gonna take down these depots as well. Here, the Dark Templar is hammering away at the starport, but he's within the range of a turret, so it gets nailed down. And the drop came down on tOKi's minerals, but no SCVs went down. Now the Templars are morphing into an Archon. I'm sorry I missed the storm, but no SCVs went down to the storm. It's very fortunate for tOKi. He stays alive, but he is unable to produce anything really. And there's an Archon. Archon now hammering away at the tank. tOKi now starts producing Marines once again. Dark Archon goes down. And this Dark Templar here is taking down turrets on the side very slow, very quickly actually, because it deals so much damage with every single sword attack. Very, very fast-paced game. That's mostly being facilitated by tOKi being aggressive and trying to deal damage on Mong. He'll deal some damage, but the return damage that Mong has been able to deal to tOKi is just way greater than the damage tOKi was able to do to Mong. Very beautiful strategy from Mong. I'm loving this, although it is a bit circumstantial. But he is still capable of dishing out little bits of damage every single side of tOKi's base, keeping tOKi on his toes, stopping tOKi from expanding, because every time tOKi tries to expand, he is losing buildings, losing his investment, losing his SCVs that were building those buildings. And once again, The Academy gets stopped and halted. Depots go down, SCVs go down there as well. Raids now hammering on the Reavers. But another drop's already flying in from the southern side. This time there is an Archon in there and 2 Templars. Templars get dropped within the range of the minerals. And Storm doesn't come out. Storm comes out. Storm misses. Second Storm also misses. Actually, the first Storm now ends up killing 4 SCVs. Dark Archon goes down. Reaver here in the top has taken down all these buildings that were there. Depots, armories, and academies. Once again, forcing tOKi to be supply stuck. tOKi very quickly throwing down depots here on the southern side, knowing that there's a Reaver on the top side. So he's, once again, his supply has been unclogged. He can now start producing units again, but his base is still very small under all this constant pressure from Mong. Mong now 58 probes. His economy is starting to boom at this point into the game as his probe stack starts increasing. Upgrades are on the way. Zealot lags are finally being researched and finished up just now. He's got 2 shuttles there. 2 more shuttles are on the... Oh, actually just 2 shuttles. This is way more than he can load up. Because knowing that there is no choke, no wall in the front, he's just gonna load up a couple of Templars and Zealots and go for a frontal attack at this very same time. This frontal attack is actually pretty big, and I think that tOKi actually does not have enough units to fight this off. The drop comes flying in. First shuttle gets taken on, second shuttle also gets taken down, but a Storm does come down on the minerals for tOKi, and tOKi loses a couple of SCVs to the Storm. But there are so many units here for Mong that tOKi will not be able to defend himself against this. The bunker does end up helping him out a lot. He gets a beautiful shot off on those SCVs, killing 10 SCVs with the Archon shot. He does end up getting a very huge chunk out of tOKi's livelihood there. Took down a barrack, took down bunkers, took down a lot of units, and he even gets more SCVs. He gets another shot off, and another 10 SCVs went down to the Archon. These Archons are proving to be too much to handle for tOKi. Even more SCVs are going down now. He is losing all of his SCVs to those 2 Dark Archons, to those 2 regular Archons. The Archon's completely messing tOKi up. He's got 20 SCVs left, but his base is completely ruined. He is unable to produce anything at all. He's got 2 tanks left and a single bunker with some Marines in there and about 7 raids, but those raids are too flimsy, made of paper, unable to really do anything. Now he's got 2 tanks loaded up, and he calls DG because he knows, he sees the attack coming in from Mong. He knows he's completely screwed over. Beautiful play from Mong, very technical, very smart, hammering away at tOKi, bits by bits at a time, and then going in for the finishing move through the front. Not sticking to just drops, but just mixing it up, recognizing his opportunities everywhere, and taking full advantage of them. He's just forcing tOKi to kneel down and take the punishment. Beautiful game from Mong. A Protoss wins for the first time in this series. Mong is now up 2-1 against tOKi. tOKi suffering hard under the constant barrage of attacks from Mong. Scores 2-1, and it's time for game number 4. Will tOKi be able to make a comeback, or will Mong put the nails in the coffin and take the win in this series? Stay tuned for game number 4.